And I think this was also another game I wanted to talk about in the previous video, but I just couldn't fit it in, just for time reasons. It's kind of, and it's actually nothing like any other game I played before, I don't think, but it's called Momentum Missile Mayhem, and it's actually like a series. I think there were 4 games that were made, and it's really you're so it's you have this like slingshots that like shoots these like balls of like these energy orb ball type things, and it's like really your object is to, well, it's like it is a defense game, but your weapon is the slingshot type of weapon that that shoots these projectiles that, and they bounce, and they can bounce off the walls, but and they can, and really your the object is to basically kill as many enemies as possible. And I think some levels you're and I think some levels you actually have an X amount of like enemies that can slip past before you lose, and then there are some levels where you actually have to kill every single enemy that goes on screen. And the first 2 games are you just kind of have the slingshots as your only weapon, though you do get many different upgrades that you can choose to unlock. And it's, you get experience like from killing enemies, and really the more kills you get, the more experience you get. And when your experience bar actually gets full, you actually get, I think, 5 different points that you can actually spend towards any upgrade you want. And I think even some of the, I think with some of those upgrades include upgrades to your launcher, like energy, which I think just dictates how quickly you can actually shoot, because shooting projectiles takes energy. And then stability, which means actually like with base stability, if you actually, without any upgrades, actually there actually is a penalty for actually shooting projectiles very fast, where if you have less than 100% stability, there's actually a chance that instead of actually firing the projectile, the launcher just explodes, and it causes damage to your launcher. And yeah, your launcher actually does have health. And one of the other ways your launcher can be damaged is if enemies explode next to it. And if either too many enemies slip past, or if your launcher explodes, you lose the game. And I think one of the, I think the other launcher upgrade is you can upgrade either the amount of health it has or how fast the health will regenerate, or I think both. And then the rest of the upgrades are like our abilities. Like there's a shockwave one that this flings everything outwards, and then an implosion one which does the opposite. And then and yeah, it's just there's these different kinds of abilities that can give you the upper hand in the enemy waves. And there's all, and you can also unlock more different projectiles which can do more damage, and some of them have different abilities to them or traits, but these higher tier projectiles also cost more stability to fire, so you have to and more energy, so you have to bear that in mind. And there are even different enemies that have different abilities to them that you kind of have to watch out for. And though Momentum Missile Mayhem 3 actually adds in a different kind of element where you actually have, I think you actually have 4 different types of weapons at your disposal. Like you have a singularity cannon which fires like these singularity projectiles that basically suck enemies towards, that kind of suck enemies in.
Singularity cannon, which fires off, I believe it's gravity. Let's see. It's been forever since I played this, but there we go. And yeah, it's a gravity cannon. So if you get it just right, you can fire it and actually slam everyone into each other, which is amazing, and I love it. No, you guys go that way. No, don't sling him back toward me. Take him that way. You take him back toward the back of the screen, back over there. That is awesome. What's my second type? Oh yeah, the second type just fires off these little pellet shell things, which just have a force of gravity propelling it backwards. But we have leveled up, so we're gonna do this. Let's see. We can raise our tech level
and then there's kind of like this this kind of mobile slingshot where it's like you're firing the same kind of projectiles as you did in the first 2 games, but it actually follows your mouse cursor.
Come on, it takes a while for that to rebuild itself from energy, haha! So in kind of tower defense style, boing! I love doing that. You have to keep these creeps, I guess you would call them, from making their way to this point here. If you get too many of them through there, I believe, oh no, come back, there we go. Where is it? My live total kills, no. Something around here tells me how many of those I'm allowed to get through. But if too many of them get through, I lose, and that is that. We just have to, you can actually bounce them off of each other, and it does damage. I should probably have pointed this out, I didn't think to. Dependent on the speed in which they're hit, determines how much damage is done to them. See, if I do this, it barely does anything, but bouncing them really fast, like slamming this into them like that, or boom, or knocking them into walls, or knocking them into each other, does more damage. Mission.
And then there's this one that's like kind of like a frisbee type of a deal that basically like whenever it runs into enemies, it causes damage to them.
You kind of just fire off. This is a gravity well thing that I can create here, and I use my disc to launch it at people. And we have this reflective side, which will keep it from going off and me having to get a new one. Boop. But I can, if I'm firing at some of the bigger guys, I can accidentally just fire them through the exit and help them win, which I have done repeatedly by accident. See, like kind of like that. If it was going the other way, I would have lost. Or I would have lost some points. There we go. After you've used it so much, it will actually explode, and you have to get a new one. I think it's this shield thing down here. It can only take so much before it breaks. Got you, yeah. See, I love this. Go faster. Just ping off of everything. Go, keep going. I probably should aim this. I probably should. Come on. It doesn't give you an arrow unless it's totally stopped, which makes it kind of a pain in the butt to aim when there's a lot of people right next to your exit. Aha! Gotcha!
And then the fourth one is just artillery strikes, where it's like you can just choose, it's like you just click where, you actually want to fire a shell, and and then this timer will start, and then and I think it's like a few seconds in between the initiation of the attack and when the actual attack actually happens. So it's you kind of have to plan a bit ahead with your shots.
Okay, so here we go. So this time, we have to keep people from making their way over to the left side of the screen. You do that by bombarding them with artillery shots, which actually, no, take a while to go off. You can see the little meter as it's, oh, okay, I'm sucking this up already. Let's use a bigger shot. And we have multiple kinds of shots here. I don't know how many I actually have unlocked at the moment. Let's just use these big ones for a moment. And you just, the big ones obviously are harder to move, yeah! But the small ones, you can hit with the little things, you just kind of pings them around. I'm hitting them with big heavy things which are not, or just kind of killing them instantaneously. Come on, hit him. Yeah, there we go. I almost propelled him into the winning circle, which would not have been cool. So, as you go on, you will get more impressive opponents. There we go! You see it knocks them into each other and they explode. So for this mode, you have to work out your timing because, like an actual artillery shot, it takes a minute to get there after you've fired it. No! I propelled him through! No! I need to not do that. I don't
think I remember actually getting particularly far in Momentum Missile Mayhem 3. I guess just because, it's like, there's way more different like things. There's way more to this kind of game. Like it's it's sort of like it's like they've kind of put 4 games kind of in one game that you're sort of playing at the same time. And I guess I just got to a point where the difficulty just kind of got a little bit too much. And then Momentum Missile Mayhem 4 is, you actually have this mobile, it kind of goes back to the old, to the slingshots, but this one's actually kind of mobile. You can actually move throughout the level. So I believe the out of the 4 games, I believe Momentum Missile Mayhem 2 was the one I actually ended up playing the most. And it was then, they were kind of rage-inducing for me at times, but these games were still very fun for me to play. It's probably one of the funnest like defense games like that probably was ever released to the internet. And if you've never heard of this game I highly recommend you look up some videos of it, or if you actually want to see more of it beyond just the snippets that I'm actually going to be editing into my videos, like I've kind of always been doing throughout the series. Oh, and I guess while I was on the topic of those like powder for sand physics games, there's this one other game. I guess it's more of a puzzle game. It's called Sugar Sugar. really the object is you have to get this sugar that is falling into you're trying to fill cups with sugar. That's actually simulated as a powder, actually kind of or similar to the falling sand games and the powder toy. And really the object is to fill each of the cups with sugar. And I think later on in the game you're introduced to different colors. And like there's like I guess like a filter, I guess, or gate, for lack of a better word, that you actually have to pass the sugar through. It's like, I think you start with white sugar, and then you have to turn some of it like different colors, and then you have to get the sugar into the right colored cups. And you basically have to, and you actually get this tool that you draw, like literally just like in Microsoft Paint, to where you're literally drawing like ramps just to get the sugar to go where it's supposed to go. Though the only catch is you can't erase what you draw, so it's you have to kind of be smart and strategic with actually how you go about this game. And I believe this game actually had many different sequels actually come out. I think there's 3 different games, though I might, that were made. I think, though I might actually be wrong. I'm actually getting to a point where I am actually running out of games to talk about. And, although I still have a few more, than to mention. And, I believe one, this is another, one, this is another, hit from Miniquip. And, it is called, Raft War. It's just kind of this cartoony, like, I guess, like, canon, combat, type of game where you're trying to kill the opponents. And, and it's like you're playing as, like, these children. And there's, like, I think there was actually one sequel made for it, and it's you can also like buy upgrades, and then there's this whole genre of games called Learn to Fly. Where it's kind of about this, so it's like you play as a penguin that I guess it wants to prove to the world that well, penguins can fly, and there's there was like, I think, at least 3 different games of this franchise, at least that I most remember fondly. I think the first Learn to Fly is it's like more of like a gliding kind of a game where you're just trying to like glide as far as you can. And then Learn to Fly 2 kind of takes this concept a bit further, and you can actually buy different vehicles, and different gliders, and different like a method, like different rockets or different boosts, and there's even like a destruction element where you actually are destroying like these objects that are kind of in your way, and there's also a bunch of achievements to get, though though that actually was a thing in Learn to Fly 1, though. And there's even in Learn to Fly 2, there's this whole bonus shop where you can actually buy like I guess these various different quality of life perks, I guess that make various aspects of the game easier. Though I guess some of them are just kind of more cosmetic things. And then Learn to Fly 3 is actually takes kind of a different approach. Is you're actually blasting off into space this time. Though really, it seems like there's this whole genre of flash games even beyond Learn to Fly that are just kind of about like I guess flying, or like kind of like how long of a distance you can fly, and like there's a Hedgehog launch. Where you're getting you're launching a hedgehog into space, and I think that one even had a sequel, or one sequel, and then there's Toss the Turtle. where really you're trying to get a turtle as far as possible, though it's like though there's these many different obstacles, some of them boost you farther, though some of them stop you. And then there's upgrades that you can buy as well. And then there's this other game, I feel like it's a little bit lesser known, but I believe it's called Throw Me. I think it's uh it's kind of similar to all these other games, but it's like it's very kind of psychedelic and kind of like it's a very different look to it, kind of very different theme to it. And I think I actually that game is from Armor Games. And then one more game of this, at least of this, well, actually two more games of this genre, at least that I remember playing, are this one called Flight, which is you're actually playing. It's actually like it's this paper airplane that is actually being thrown that's like going across the world, like. Like kind of going to like different where you're kind of on this adventure, like it's well, at least the lore is this girl is trying to send a message to Santa Claus, but it's you're actually going on this crazy adventure to different countries of the world. But it's I guess kind of a similar concept to all those other games where you're upgrading and you're trying to get as far as possible. Though in this game, you're actually kind of going with each run, you're just kind of slowly progressing through each level. And then another game, at least I remember, is I think it's called Fly Hard. Or it's like you're this it's like you're kind of this rocket that's trying to get to space to, I think it's actually to stop a meteor from hitting the Earth. And And then I think even that game got this kind of sequel to it where you're actually trying to get through space. It's actually like a space shooter, which is kind of an interesting turn for that game. And well, there's also one more, I guess, genre of this one more game of this genre, at least that I remember, and that's Meteor, or I think it's a Meteor Launch actually, where there's this. It's like you're trying. There's this meteor fell to Earth, and for some reason, you're trying to launch it back into space. And it's really another spin on this kind of genre of games. And kind of, but it's actually kind of themed. I guess it's like has like a kind of a tiki kind of a theme to it. And then this other game, well, it's on my mind anyway. So this other game, uh, think it's called Sandcastle. It's this. Like you're defending this like model city, like I guess made of blocks, kind of against these boats that are shooting cannons, and really your goal is to defend and just kind of kill all of the enemy boats, and I guess kind of similar to Crash Car Combat. For some reason, I found this game satisfying to play, and I just found myself playing it over and over again. Though I guess it's because this this game actually is kind of broken. Like if you buy the some of the weapons, like if you're a really good if you're really good at, if you have good aim, you basically you pretty much are set for the whole game. Like you can just keep buying more ammo and keep using the weapons for the whole game. And I think my weapon of choice was the banana rocket. And because I think sometimes it actually would because you could actually hit multiple you could actually hit multiple targets, and sometimes you could actually get like a combo hit, like where like uh all of the damage of that projectile is concentrated on one enemy that you hit, and you can almost get a one-hit kill, which is kind of insane. And I guess circling back to shooting games, or at least warfare games. There's these two games. I guess they're kind of relatives of each other. It's a rail. It's one is a Rail of War, and one is Rails of War, and one is Skies of War. And in Rails of War, you're actually playing as a train. And that you actually can equip weapons on, and really your goal is to get is to drop off cargo at its destination safely, while also fighting off waves of enemies. And the levels start very simple, but they get harder and way more brutal the farther you get into the game. Though I personally found myself getting stuck at I think level 5 or 6, and I think that game has 8 or 9 levels, but it got to a point where it was just too much. Like, I don't know, I guess it just kind of got to a point where I guess the difficulty curve just kind of got a bit too much, and I just kind of stopped playing it. Though I think Skies of War, I actually ended up getting a bit farther in, and though that game, I guess in the name, you're actually playing as airplanes.
Mission target accomplished.
Or I think there's also 2 helicopters as well. And so though what's interesting is in Rails of War, you actually fight against some of the airplanes from some of the aircraft from Skies of War. And in Skies of War, you actually fight against some of the trains from Rails of War. And though it's Skies of War, there's like this element where you have different weapon types, like you have missiles, bombs, and machine guns, and then you also have a special type of weapon, and every plane or basically has different slots for each type. And and it's like you can and it's like and I believe you can like load up like you can like load it up with different amounts of each type of weapon, though I think there is a payload penalty where like the more you put on the more you load up like the more ammo you load up, I think that actually increases the amount of fuel you use. And there's different types of planes. Like there's planes best suited for dogfighting, and then there's planes that are suited for bombing. And actually in one level, it actually sometimes is advisable to actually land in an airfield to switch from one plane to another, to transition from a bombing run to a dogfight, for example. And I believe I actually got farther in this game than in Rails of War, but I don't think I actually ever beat the game. I think I would have got to I think I would have got to either the last level or the second to last level. But I think it just got too difficult for me at a certain point. I might maybe at some point revisit these games, maybe at some point in the future. Though when I first found these games, it was only the trial versions of the games, and if you want to play the other levels, you have to get the paid versions. And well, I believe that you can actually find these games on Flashpoint now, but I actually found I think I actually found through YouTube this one YouTuber who actually uploaded content of those games actually released downloadable links so that you can literally download the full versions of these games, and I think that's actually how I got those games. And they're not really games I think I played a whole lot, but I think maybe some point in the future I might revisit them, but we'll see. And then another game at least I remember was it's called Orbital Decay, where you're playing as you have this large starship that's just like flying where you're kind of defending, where you're trying to ward off these like onslaughts of enemies, but you can also like upgrade you can upgrade the weapons, and you can like add like turrets to the ship, and also shuttle bays which spawn like I guess like smaller defense kind of chips. Well, and just to kind of which is another way you can ward off enemies. And I think my first time playing this game I didn't beat it, but I think I picked up this game a lot later on. Actually, when I'm actually in my stints of playing these Flash games, actually after their Best Buy date, and I think I was able to actually complete this game at least once. And I guess we're staying on the topic of defense games. There's this kind of odd one called it's called Shape Invasion. I was actually blanking on the name of it. Or it's another kind of a defense kind of a game where you're defending against waves of enemies, but in this case it's actually these shapes like squares, like rectangles and triangles and and different things, but there's different kinds of enemies that have different traits to them. I guess at this point we're kind of going into the more kind of random kind of games. And so I guess kind of going back to the genre of games that Motherload would fall under. Well, this was another game I forgot to bring up in the previous video, but it's one that I actually didn't get to play until until I'm actually playing games on these Flash games on Flashpoint. And I've only actually learned about this game through a YouTube video, and that is it is Reach the Core. And it's similar to Motherload, but it's very different as in this game, you're actually continuously going deeper and underground, like you're continuously digging down, and you're just kind of trying to dodge these different obstacles, and with every run you do, you kind of make more money and you get upgrades, and which just kind of grant you the ability to get deeper and deeper. And there's also different vehicles that you can choose from, as well as different modules that give you different abilities. And I think each one has different pros and cons to it. And then each one you can also upgrade, though there comes a point where it actually might be more wise to save up for the next best item instead of just upgrading the item you have all the way up. And then I think later on you also get to unlock a new level that I think also gives you more money more faster. And I guess sticking to the genre of mining games, I guess we could call them, there's this game called Glean. Which I believe I actually found through Kongregate. And so this game, so you first play a tutorial level that just kind of introduces you to the various mechanics of this game, and it has an element where actually the farther down you go, there's actually heat, like to the level, and the farther down you go, the hotter it gets, and I think drilling raises your heat level, and also you don't want to go too deep because they'll reach a point where you suffer from what's called environmental overheating, which is where you're basically just constantly overheating because you're too far down, at least without cooling upgrades. And there's and you can also have the option of going to multiple different planets, and I think there's like 3 different, like, I guess climates you could call it. Like there's glacial planets, which are the coldest, and then there's temperate, which are kind of somewhere in the middle, and volcanic, which are the hottest. Though I think each type of planet actually has it's like has like different types of resources more common than others. Like I believe it's glacial planets tend to have the most gems, and volcanic planets tend to have the most metals, and temperate planets are sort of in between, and there's even like subtypes of planets within those which have certain types of resources more common than others, and then also you run into lava pockets, which you can only find on temperate and volcanic planets. And then there's this whole research system where you're actually looking for you're looking for 5 different artifacts, which you can only find at a certain depth. And then once you find those 5, and there's like another tier of artifacts that you find that are deeper down. And then those actually unlock research, which you have to do in order to unlock crafting recipes. And yeah, crafting is actually a thing in this game. And in order to unlock upgrades, you actually have to craft these different items. And in order to craft certain upgrades, you actually have to unlock research. And in addition to upgrades, there's also I guess similar to Motherlode, there's also, you can get like portable modules or items that you can use. Like there's a portable, there's a fuel refill, a repair, and then a dynamite that lets you explode obstacles that you can't, like there's like blow up rocks that you can't dig through. And there's a teleport pad, though this one actually is reusable, as opposed to like the ones on Motherlode. And like as in, once you place it, you can basically continuously use it, like unlimited amount of times. Well, that is until you go to a new planet. And then another one is a radar pulse, which kind of like reveals like all the different like it gives you a full radar of like all the different ores, but it's actually temporary. And though you can get optics upgrades, which actually give you those upgrades permanently. Although really the object of that game is just to get all the upgrades. And then there's also a sequel to that game where which is kind of a continuation of that game, but like there's like levels that are just regular digging levels, and then there's levels that are like underwater. And then there's also levels where you're actually flying. Though I didn't really personally get that far in this particular game, just because I think I just kind of got confused just because of how the way the upgrades work. I didn't really know like how I guess I just got to a point where I just got lost and I wasn't quite sure how to progress. Though I at least found myself playing Glean 1 a lot, though. Though I'm already 3 videos into talking about Flash games, and I'm actually I'm already like an hour and 20 minutes into this video, so I guess I'll just wrap this up here. And I guess I could keep going on and on about Flash games like that I played, but I've more or less kind of covered at least most of the big hits, or at least most of the games that I've actually played the most. Though I'm guessing maybe in the next episode I'll cover some of the other games. Though I kind of would like to also fairly soon get into the various PC games that I actually played before Minecraft. And yeah, that I actually did play some local PC games actually before before Minecraft. And I think even more than just those games that I actually got with that computer that that I talked about on all the computers that I've owned. And well, because this video's been running on over an hour, I guess I'd like to end it here. And I guess thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, remember to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you want to see my next videos, be sure to hit the bell for notifications. And peace out. Bye.